Call the meeting to order. Call the roll, please.
Chairman Peck.
Present.
Legislator Patel.
Here.
Legislator Kelly.
Present.
Legislator Sweet. Legislator Diamond.
Present.
Legislator Headwell Jr.
Present.
Legislator Wilson.
Present.
Legislator Duchessis.
Present.
All set.
You salute to the flag, stand and to raise the pledge. And then please remain standing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have a number of brief passings to remember. First is Michael Riccio, an Amsterdam, New York resident for nearly 9 decades, and its longest serving police court judge in history. Judge Riccio was 95 years old. He enlisted in the United States Navy in 1944 at age 18. In 1952, Mike became what would become a long and successful career in his hometown, serving as confidential law assistant to New York State Supreme Court Judge Justice Felix J. Alisi for 10 years. Practicing law with his brother-in-law Gene Alcatina for 20 years, serving as corporation counsel for the city in the 1960s, and being appointed as police court judge in 1967. Mike was the oldest living member of the Montgomery County Bar Association. Admired by his clients and courtroom participants, he was known as a strong character, of temperament, patience, fairness, firmness, all required of a judge. Russell Bowder, 44, Fort Plain. He was drafted into the United States Army, serving in World War II from 1945 to 1946, and then served again from 1951 to 1953, where he was stationed as an encryption specialist in Washington, D.C. Peter Pete Cook. He worked as a heavy machine operator for the town of Minden for 37 years. John J. McGillen. John was a United States Navy veteran, serving from 1951 to 1955. John was Michael Pepp's uncle. Edward R. L. Patton, 1958. Mr. Patton started working as deputy for the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department. He served as councilman for the town of Mohawk and supervisor for the town in 1993 and serving until 2009. And was in Liccardi's staff. Thomas Arthur Bonifat. Thomas worked for Montgomery County as a social worker for many years, from 1992 to 2016. Carolyn Hogan, RN, who worked for the Department of Social Services for from 1997 to 2022. Thank you. Presentations. And public comment, is there any public comment?
Is there anyone online for public comment?
Are there any communications?
Yes, I just want to let you guys know that today I received a thank you for your donation to the Montgomery County SPCA in memory of Joseph Isabel. The family will receive acknowledgement of your memorial gift of $500.
There are no minutes submitted for approval, so we're going to move on to the acceptance of budgetary transfers.
Make a motion.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion here? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
Thank you. Acceptance of the procurement record. Thank you.
Second.
We need a second?
Yep.
Thank you. Any discussion here? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Any, abstention?
Pass.
Is there any old business before the board?
Old business.
Old business before the legislature, there's no old business. Okay. If not, we're on to new business, the resolutions. First is resolution number 25. Resolution amending 2022 operating budget. Grant funding for Montgomery County Kayak Share Project. Sponsors were Kelly and Sweet. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
26, resolution amending 2022 operating budget. Grant funding for micro enterprise project. Homes and community renewal. Sponsors were Kelly and Wilson. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
Number 28,
27.
27, a resolution amending 2022 operating budget, grant funding for municipal restructuring fund. Sponsors were Kelly and Wilson. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
28, resolution authorizing application for I Love New York Tourism Promotion Matching Grant Funds. Sponsors were Kelly and Sweet. Is there further discussion here? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
Wait. Michael? Chairman Pep?
Yes.
Did you say aye?
Yes.
Pass.
Thank you. 29, resolution amending the 2022 operating budget. Grant funding for a community-wide hazardous substance assessment grant project. Sponsors were Wilson and Diamond. Is there any further discussion here? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
Number 30, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign approved child care facilities agreements. Sponsors were Diamond and Sweet. Is there any further discussion here? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
31, Resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, 2022 COVID emergency relief funding for the Community Mental Health Services Block Grant Funding Funds. Sponsors were Patel and Wilson. Is there further discussion here? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
32, a resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, 2022 Lost Team Project Contract for Mental Health Association and New York State Incorporated. Sponsors were Patel and Sweet. Call for further discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
33, resolution amending the 2022 operating budget and establishing an additional principal accounts clerk. Sponsors were Wilson and Diamond. Call for further discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
34, a resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, the Research Foundation for the State University of New York Award Funds. Sponsors were Sweet and Wilson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
35, resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, New York State Department of Health, Local Health Department performance. Sponsors were Patel and Sweet. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are any opposed? Are there any abstentions?
Pass.
Number 36, resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, equipment in the Sheriff's Department. Sponsors, Patel and Wilson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
37, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement with the Village of Nelliston for the use of a substation in the Sheriff's Department. Sponsors, Headwell and Patel. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are any abstain? Excuse me. Are any opposed? Are there any abstentions?
Pass.
38, resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, establishing a position of an additional, as part-time? Full-time dispatcher, and eliminating the position of account clerk typist. Sponsors were Kelly and Sweet. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Mike, you said aye?
Yes.
Pass.
On to resolution 39, a resolution amending the 2022 operating budget with carryover forfeiture money in the district attorney's office. Sponsors Kelly and Wilson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
Resolution 40, amending the 2022 operating budget with forfeiture money to district attorney's office. Sponsors were Kelly and Headwell. Any further discussion here? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are any opposed? Are there any abstentions?
Pass.
Resolution 41, a resolution amending the 2022 operating budget based on the 2022 renewal agreement with Midwest Insurance Company. Sponsors were Sweet and Kelly. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed or abstentions?
Pass.
Resolution 42, a resolution authorizing the county executive to authorize advertising for bids for the FMCC Science Labs Classroom Phase 3 project. Sponsors were Sweet and Wilson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are any opposed? Are there any abstentions?
Pass.
43, resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, technology and innovation, and election resource grant. Sponsors, Sweet and Kelly. Any further discussion here? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are any opposed? Any abstentions?
Pass.
Resolution 44, a resolution correcting the 2022 town and county tax roll, Town of Mohawk. Sponsors were Diamond and Pertel. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are any opposed? Are there any abstentions? Resolution 45.
Sorry, pass.
Are you all set?
Yep,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
I'm like a stable horse. I'm in a hurry
My
getting back to the
computer
barn.
froze, so.
Number 45, a resolution approving abstract of audited claims. Sponsors were Kelly and Pertel. Call for further discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are any opposed? Are there any abstentions?
Pass.
46, a resolution authorizing county executive to sign contracts, flood insurance coverage. County executive. Sponsors were Kelly and Diamond. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are any opposed? Are there any abstentions?
Pass.
And number 47, a resolution to provide excuse me, premium pay for Montgomery County essential employees. Sponsors were Patel and Sweet. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mike, aye? Chairman? Okay.
Are there any abstentions? Any opposed?
Pass.
That concludes the resolutions. Is there any other business before the board? Yes, Legislator Patel.
I was just looking up at the plaque behind you, and it represents that the county was formed on March 12th, 1772. I would think that that's 250 years that we've been a county, and I was wondering whether we intend to do anything for that occasion or bring that to anybody's attention.
Is something, right?
It's 3 weeks away.
You better get on it.
Do we know if administration is looking into this at all?
I can check with the executive.
Well, Legislator Patel makes a good point.
I think that's the first time you've said that.
I think I've said that many times.
Miles apart.
See, I would have said that's the first time you did that.
First first time I've done it remotely.
We can have a committee, Bob can be in charge.
There you go, I like that.
Economic development.
Yeah. Just give me the check.
Either that or.
I don't need a check or two credit card.
Or we could, put the sheet
Yeah, I
on.
mean, Chairman Pop will, we'll kind of make some phone calls to economic development, to county executive, I don't know, see if it's on anyone's radar.
New tourism department, so I think that would be a good,
Should have legislator Patel use all his media. Do an article about the anniversary.
Don't copy me.
Is that for their business? If so, I call for a motion
So
to
moved.
adjourn. Thank you. Second.
Okay.
Thank you, Roy.
You're welcome.